I'm going to make this one real quick. This is going to be probably my last response to Richard Cooper. I've actually never really responded to him. I've made videos about him, and I've made videos with information that I've thought about him in it. So this is pretty much directly to Richard Cooper, pretty much for the first time that I've ever responded directly to him, I guess. I don't know if he'll see this, but I don't really care. I just am responding to him to this video called Do the Work. Which, it's easy for me to have some understanding of where he's coming from. The problem that I have with this guy is that he claims to be a red pill coach. So the problem with that is the red pill, what the red pill is the red pill is an objective truth or objective truths or objective ideologies. No, I shouldn't even say objective ideologies. The red pill is objective truths about the way the world is. It's really that simple. It's not even ideologies. Where I would say MGTOW is an ideology, and I would say PUA, pickup artistry, is an ideology. There's ideologies within those spheres that men apply and use. The red pill isn't that. The red pill isn't a set of ideologies. The red pill is a set of objective truths, and it could be very vast and expansive. It's not just about women. So unfortunately, in the manosphere, what happens is we have a lot of men who are saying the red pill, take the red pill, and they're always applying it to women. It's deeper than that. The red pill can be about government. The red pill can be about wages. The red pill can be about legislation. The red pill can be about government, etc., conspiracies, etc. That's what the red pill is. The red pill is just the objective truth, the way things really are, not the way things they tell you that things are, not the way things are supposed to be. It's not idealism. It's just the unvarnished truth. Okay. So this guy, Richard Cooper, is somebody who, or entrepreneur in cars, if you will, has 212,000 followers, so very popular, and he presents himself well. All his videos are very well thought out, and he's good at what he does insofar as, advertising himself, etc. The only problem is there's major holes in his entire philosophy. There's major holes in his entire repertoire. And the holes being that he's using the red pill to profit. He's using the red pill to make money, unfortunately. And he, like I said, he presents himself extremely well, which is great. He was even I think he did a TED Talk at one point. I think he was even doing the 21 convention or something like that. So he's very, very astute, very good orator, speaks very well. Only problem is there's major holes in his answers, his philosophies. So everybody who talks about the red pill, I say 98% of the people who I've ever watched who are popular on YouTube who talk about the red pill, they have an answer or a philosophy, a direction that they're going. And very few are just random. I mean, I'm probably one of the most random, but even I suggest an answer. And my answer has always been, speak the truth, speak the red pill, so that maybe potentially it can change some people. Maybe potentially the next generation can get help, right? So Richard Cooper's answer is man up, right? Go out and make money, improve your life, which is like 3/4 of what MGTOW is or was. I don't even know what it is anymore because at this point, MGTOW has just become a cacophony of videos and random men making videos. I don't know if it was ever really supposed to be much more than that. And I was never really, for a little while, I identified as MGTOW, but I jumped out of it when I realized that, well, first of all, I didn't want to fully give up women, and secondly, a lot of the guys within the MGTOW community were very vitriolic towards anyone who wasn't full MGTOW monk, towards anyone who wasn't as angry as them, and there was a lot of venom there. So I didn't want to really associate too much, but I've always watched MGTOW videos. I've always appreciated their content because MGTOW at its core is uplifting the red pill. So the red pill encompasses most of the manosphere, whether it's guys like Richard Cooper or Rollo Tomassi, guys like that who kind of mix PUA pickup artistry with the red pill, kind of mix a little bit of MGTOW in with blue pill, and it's just a big hodgepodge. So these guys, even though they're using the red pill, they're profiteering off of the red pill, and ultimately they're a kind of quasi motivational speaker, and the answers that they give are answers that are kind of crowd pleasing answers where they could potentially give men hope, etc. Okay. But the problem with that is a lot of what they do is bad advice. A lot of the advice that they give is bad. Richard Cooper here, his advice, he likes these nice cars. His advice is to make money, get cool cars so you can attract women, so you can have some sex. And that's about all about his ultimate answer. Now, he does talk about attracting quality women, etc., but he doesn't talk about it often, and he doesn't go too deep. Basically, he is on the surface, and he's using a lot of the red pill terminology. He's using a lot of the red pill, definitions, and he's using a lot of that in order to fuel attention towards him and making money. So with that said, he does, he does address and talk about finding higher quality women, but his answer in order to do that is to play into hypergamy, which was also Rollo Tomassi's answer, is to play into hypergamy, right? Become better so you can attract a better woman. Well, that's playing into hypergamy. You should be able to be yourself, and you should be able to find love for who you are. Okay, and if you can't, then maybe you're not putting yourself out there. Maybe you need to do the work as far as putting yourself out there in a real way. Probably there's a lot of guys out there who aren't really putting themselves out there in the right, correct way, and then they get bitter at women because they're probably not coming at women in the correct way. And that was my problem for a long time, was I would get all upset and mad at women when really it was me who was a big part of the problem, insofar that I wasn't putting myself out there in a way that I was eligible for long-term dating. And then a lot of women do want that, and they do want love, and they want commitment. Okay. Unfortunately, it's hard to find a good one, and it's hard to find, that commitment particularly when women are asking about your bank account, particularly when women are sizing you up and saying, what kind of a future am I going to have with this guy based on how much money he makes? This is where red pill understanding comes in. It can help. It can help you, save you from bad relationships. And I got to give Richard Cooper here some kudos on those things. I got to give him some kudos on when he talks about those things, because he does address that, and I appreciate that. Unfortunately, his answer usually, his ultimate answer is that men continue to improve themselves. So with that said, I wrote him something here. This was a response to this video. Like I said, Entrepreneur in Cars, Do the Work video, published September 26, 2019. 55K views. This was about 4 weeks ago. And he took some heat for this, I think. He did take some heat for this. I think Undead Chronic went in on him. I think RPOS MGTOW went in on him, and a few other guys. So with that said, I'm going to read this response. And this didn't get a lot of responses. This only got about 500 comments, which is not a whole lot in the grand scheme of how popular this guy is. So this isn't one of his more popular videos. So I take it that a large part of his audience, 212K. Well, this is only 3 weeks ago, so 55,000 views in 3 weeks is pretty dang good. But let's see how many dislikes it got. Not a lot. So, well, anyway, he does have a large part of his subscriber group is a large part of them are MGTOW. So he's obviously not talking to the MGTOW guys here, because MGTOW guys don't want to have anything to do with women. They're walking away from women, most of them, or maybe a lot of them are just claiming they're walking away from women and they're really just wallowing in their self-pity or whatever. So maybe some of those guys do need to hear this. But with that said, based upon the fact that a lot of guys who are getting into MGTOW, a lot of guys who are, you know, taking the red pill, unfortunately, a lot of times we have to swallow it against our will because we're forced into it, because we have bad relationships, or because we have bad divorces, or because, you know, the mom of our kid is taking all our money and blowing it or whatever. We get into the red pill, a lot of us, because of fucked up situations, and that was me. But anyway, without any further talking, I'm gonna read this comment. So I say, "Hey, Richard Cooper, or Entrepreneur in Cars." So I tagged him. What is the red pill to you? The red pill to me is just the objective truth about what goes on in society, including how men and women treat each other. The red pill is just the unvarnished truth about the way things are. When people say take the red pill, quote unquote, it could mean multiple things depending on the context. Usually men in the manosphere use the red pill in the context of women and dating, and MGTOW has become a culture. You, sir, are profiteering off of that culture. It's interesting that you're not quite compassionate with what guys go through, and instead of just offering understanding and potential advice tailored to a man's specific scenario, you are giving your answer, which is personal to you and not everyone else, to the problem as a whole. In other words, not every guy needs to hear your little pep talk about how you think we all should man up and take responsibility and get in shape and make more money, blah, 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 as if money is the answer to all of life's problems. Newsflash, it's not. Telling a man to just man up and make more money is a really fucked up thing to say to guys out there who are potentially going through the hardest times of their lives, which likely a vindictive, heartless woman has put them into. How can a man who is middle-aged, who worked his whole life and doesn't know any other avenue of a career than the one he has, get rich and get a better life? Some can, most won't. So your little boomer picking up yourself by the bootstraps ideology of how men should quote unquote man up, blah blah, is not really fitting for every scenario. Some men need to man up, yes. Some men complain too much and wallow in their own self-pity, true. But other men are deep in a funk or rut that often they didn't put themselves in. Someone else did, or life did, or their circumstances, or their illness, or their family limitations, etc. Most people out there are just surviving, and guess what, buddy? They don't need to man up in those scenarios. They just need to survive and get through it. You are applying your own answer as a one-size-fits-all answer to all the problems that men are facing today, and it's not always applicable. I get that you're selling your advice and all, and it's the best bet for you to make money by presenting an answer in a seemingly positive direction, but not every man is ready to quote-unquote man up and go make money and fuck dumb sluts, as you are always suggesting, which is basically all I ever hear you promoting. I've never heard you promote celibacy or finding a rare quality woman for love, just about hitting the gym, making money, buying cool cars, and fucking hot women. You often sound like a 50-year-old, 12-year-old talking about a cool car collection. Like you do realize there's a lot more to life than driving nice cars and fucking hot women, right? Like real life is not a James Bond movie. People find fulfillment and purpose in many other things than just driving expensive cars and landing expensive pussy. So on the one hand, you're using the red pill terminology to play to men's injuries. Okay, my phone's about to die, so I'm gonna see what I could read here until it does die. But the rest I'm gonna post on my on my channel. Whatever you guys think of it, let me know. This is going to be my last response to Richard Cooper. I pretty much say it all in this comment. So I'll post that on my channel under this video, and then I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to leave this comment up, see if he erases it, whatever. But I'm going to continue to read until my phone dies. On the other hand, you're profiting off of your advice, which isn't really red-pilled advice at all. It's your own little bent on what you think men should do. You're actually a motivational speaker hiding as a red pill guy. And frankly, a lot of your advice goes against red pill ideology. You suggest men should play into hypergamy by using money to fuck slutty women, and you also are pals with Rollo Tomassi, another red pill profiteer charlatan who plays into hypergamy as well by suggesting men should be stoic and masculine in order to keep a woman around. Men shouldn't improve themselves